From the Detroit Free Press, I'm Robin Chan with today's Voice Briefing. It's Wednesday, September 3rd, 2025.
For the Detroit Free Press, I'm Darcy Moran. Should a judge awaiting a psychological evaluation get to hear cases? That's the question at the heart of my latest story, tied to the death of Oakland County Sheriff's Deputy Bradley Reckling. Last year, Reckling was fatally shot while investigating a stolen SUV. But as it turns out, he knew the shooter. He'd testified against him earlier that month. After, the judge who oversaw that case came under scrutiny for her rulings, with Reckling's widow concerned she'd allowed the shooter and another implicated to remain out on bond before the death. What the public didn't know was that the rulings happened not only shortly before Reckling's death, but also around the time of a state-requested psychological evaluation for the judge. A subsequent report deemed Oakland County's District Court Judge Kirsten Nielsen Hardig, quote-unquote, unsafe to practice. She kept working after that, too. Hardig is fighting the accuracy of that report amid a misconduct complaint saying she failed to turn it over in a timely fashion. She says she didn't have to. Check out Freep.com for more on the story, including commentary from Reckling's widow, more on Hardig's argument, and information from experts on judicial ethics.
I'm Susan Tompour, and I'm a personal finance columnist at the Detroit Free Press. The September 30th deadline for snagging a tax credit of up to $7,500 on a qualifying new electric vehicle is right around the corner. The federal clean vehicle tax credit was set to expire at the end of 2032, but the mega tax bill signed into law in July put an end to that. One rule of the game: you can only qualify for the clean vehicle credit when buying an EV if your modified adjusted gross income does not exceed $300,000 for married couples filing jointly, or $225,000 for heads of households, or $150,000 for all other filers. But there is an important leasing loophole, and many people will qualify for that leasing loophole to get an attractive lease deal. Potential buyers were originally told that they must take delivery on or before September 30th to be eligible, but you might have a bit more wiggle room when it comes to a delivery date thanks to new information from the IRS. Still, you will need a written contract and need to put a down payment on that vehicle by September 30th, even if you take delivery a little bit later.
This is Lily Aldovino with the Detroit Free Press. The percent of third graders passing the state reading test has been on a steady decline since the test's inception, but that's not the case in some Michigan schools, according to newly released scores from tests taken in the spring. The Detroit Free Press interviewed 4 schools bucking the trend, and we noticed a pattern in what administrators told us they'd changed to increase third grade reading scores over 6 years. School leaders said they pursued reading instruction reform, emphasizing the science of reading and training for teachers. They made strategic plans and held staff to those plans for improvement, and they engaged students and parents in new and unique ways. To read more about the schools increasing reading proficiency and find out which schools they are, head to freep.com.
Find more from the Detroit Free Press on freep.com. That's FREEP.com. Thank you for listening, and you'll hear more from us tomorrow.